For the next 10 minutes, we're going to be looking at Jan Gossart's very innovative approach to a traditional subject, the adoration of the kings. Hello, I'm Susan Foister. I'm Deputy Director at the National Gallery, and I'm going to be talking to you today about Jan Gossart's Adoration. This painting, with its breathtaking details, was made by Jan Gossart in the early 16th century using oil paints on a large oak panel. It was made as an altarpiece for the Abbey of St. Adrian at Gerardsbergen or Gremont in what is now Belgium. It was made for a very wealthy man, Daniel van Boekhout, who is probably the man portrayed here, the grey-haired man kneeling in front of us. He was wealthy enough to employ the leading painter of his day, Jan Gossart, and Gossart was so proud of this painting that he signed it twice, once on the headdress of the Black King Balthazar here, and again on the neck of his companion behind. Before we look at more of Gossart's astonishing technique, let's learn a bit more about the story here. It's a Christian story that's told in the New Testament in the Bible, and it tells of the birth of the baby Jesus, who's shown here right in the middle of the painting with his mother Mary, who's wearing this enveloping blue robe. Behind them to the left is Joseph in a red robe, and right above them is a star. Now, the people crowding here to left and right have been following this star, and the star has stopped. It's hovering above Jesus, so they know that they've come to the right place. And to the left and to the right are kings, the three kings, but not just the kings. They've come with a huge procession of retinue to left and to right. Over on the right-hand side, you can see there are people that are still coming over the hill. The procession is such a lengthy one, winding its way across here. And then behind, in the center of the painting, crowding in to have a look here and over on the left as well, are the shepherds who've also heard about the birth of Jesus. Now, Gossart draws us into this painting and its detail and its drama with immense skill and use of space and contrasts. In the foreground, we're right down at ground level here, and he's showing us a very decayed pavement. The stones are broken, there are weeds growing up through them, and there's a dog here, a scruffy dog who's gnawing at a bone. On the right-hand side, there's another dog who's sitting a little bit aloof from that dog. And Gossart draws our eye on into the middle of the painting by the perspective lines of the paving stones in the middle here. Above Mary and Jesus, we can see not the usual stable, but an enormous decaying palace. It's built of brick, and there are very elaborate pieces of decoration here showing that it was a very, very grand building once. But now there are trees growing up through it, and again, it's falling apart. All of this grandeur is decaying and becoming lost, and something new is happening today. And then at the top of the painting, there's another dimension appearing. There are angels. Gossart's drawing our eye through the buildings, up to the sky, the roof has fallen in, and we can start to see angels. They're coming from afar. They're in the far distance, lining up. They're a little bit like planes landing, and they're all coming into this central scene. To either side, there are two large, very colourful angels with rainbow wings, and this one wearing a robe of a special fabric that alters its colour depending on which angle you look at it. So the angels are here because something very extraordinary and special has occurred. Now, Gossart is also drawing us in with the astonishing use of detail that he shows to create these figures of the kings. They're wearing the most elaborate and expensive clothing, in complete contrast to the tiny naked child. Balthazar here has an extraordinary headdress incorporating a crown. There are pearls dripping off the edges of it, all edged with gold. His robe is lined with lynx fur. He's wearing really expensive and extraordinary boots. The leather is so fine that you can see his toes through the feet there. And then Caspar on the right, with his gift of gold coins in a gold cup, is wearing the most beautiful velvet robe. It's lined with very strokeable dark fur. And then the third king, Melchior, on the far right, well, he's wearing all sorts of colours, cloth of gold, again, very, very precious details. So these are extraordinarily rich men who've come to see the baby Jesus here. The kings are all very, very richly dressed, but they're also very human. All the faces are human here, and that's very important for the story that Gossart is telling. The king here, he's got grey hair, and Gossart has also painted a hairy wart on the side of his face. They're all recognisably human, but their world has changed in this moment. They've all come from far off to see this baby here. And this is a moment of enormous change that Gossart has depicted. It's a world in which heaven and earth suddenly collide, and it's the moment of the birth of this child. If you're interested in learning more about our paintings, please click here or here. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.